everyone, I'm attorney Aiden Durham with 180 Law Co. in Denver, Colorado, and you're watching All Up in Your Business. In this episode of All Up in Your Business, we're going to talk about the steps to take to trademark a name, a business name or a product or service name. And these steps are also going to apply to trademarking a logo, but there are a few little differences if you're doing a logo versus trying to trademark a name. But first, before we get into it, huge announcement coming at you March 4th is Brandish, DIY your trademark application. During this 1-hour webinar and mini workshop, I'm going to teach you step by step how to prepare for, complete, and submit a trademark application without a lawyer. And registration opens soon. So if you want to learn the exact steps to take to file a trademark application without a lawyer, check the description below for a link to get on the wait list and to get some special early bird discount opportunities too. All right, let's talk about how to trademark a name. The first step before you go trademarking anything is make sure it's something that's worth trademarking. What makes a name more or less worth trademarking? It really depends on how strong or weak it is. A weak trademark is one that is more generic or common or descriptive versus a strong trademark, which is something that's very arbitrary or very distinctive, very creative. And so the stronger your trademark is, the stronger the trademark registration is going to be. So if you have a really weak trademark, something that typically makes it weak is if it's very descriptive of your goods or your services, or if it's primarily your last name. Something like that makes a trademark on the weaker side. And with a weak trademark, if you register it, all you have is a registered weak trademark, and your trademark rights will reflect that. If you have a weak, generic trademark name, your rights to enforce that trademark are going to be somewhat limited and weaker, versus if you have a very arbitrary name that's a stronger trademark, then your registered trademark rights are going to be a lot stronger too. A few examples of very strong trademarks are like Google. Google wasn't even a word until Google came out and created it. So any like brand new word, or creating a new word, creating a new sound, combining words to create something new, that's the best thing you can do, is create a brand new word or a brand new trademark that no one's ever seen before. That's going to make it stronger versus a weaker trademark. So if we've decided that it's worth pursuing a trademark registration, the next thing we want to do is make sure it's available to even register and use in the US. A good first place to start with searching for your trademark availability is, of course, Google or your favorite search engine. Type in the trademark that you're looking to register and see what comes up. If there's a bunch of other business listings for similar types of products or services, if the exact trademark that you want comes up a lot, or if there are a lot of similar variations, then that might be a little red flag that maybe this trademark is already taken. Or if it's not taken, necessarily registered, if there's a lot of competition with that trademark, that's going to affect how strong and distinctive your trademark is. So if you're seeing a lot of similar variations of your trademark or identical trademarks, then you might want to think about how that will impact your registration. And then after doing a Google search, you can also do a search on the Whois database to see what kind of domain name registrations already exist that incorporate your trademark or something similar to it. And then the USPTO has a really good search database available too. This allows you to search for pending trademark applications and registered trademarks that might be identical or similar to yours. So if you go to the USPTO's website, it's uspto.gov, and you'll navigate to their TESS, TESS system. And this is where you're going to do that search. And you'll usually be able to do just a basic word search for your name. Now, this is where the difference comes in. If you're trying to trademark a logo, then you'll want to do a design search, which is a bit more complicated than just a basic word search. So here you can type in the trademark name that you're wanting to use. For this example, I'm going to type in all up in your business, and then we'll see what comes up. So let's say you were wanting to register your trademark all up in your business for your local ice cream shop. We see here there is an active live registration for all up in your business. So what's important to note, if you do find trademarks that are identical to yours or kind of similar to yours, pay attention also to the goods or services that are associated with that registration. There are two things primarily that go into trademark applications and trademark registrations. The first is the similarity of the trademark itself. The second is the similarity of the goods or services. So if I'm opening an ice cream shop called All Up in Your Business, this current All Up in Your Business registration is for like legal services and things that have absolutely nothing to do with ice cream or ice cream shops. So with this finding, I am relatively safe feeling like I can proceed with my application because there aren't any that are so similar in trademark and in the goods and services that it's likely it'll get through. But if you do find something in the database that is kind of similar to your trademark and the goods or services are somewhat related, or if they're identical, then again, that's a red flag that you're going to want to take into consideration and maybe go back to the drawing board, because if someone else already has that trademark registered in a very related category of goods or services, that's going to impact how your application goes and whether or not you're going to get that registration. You can also use some third-party trademark search tools. There are companies out there that will do a very thorough trademark search. These aren't lawyers or law offices. They're just trademark search companies that will search the USPTO and common law usage and even international usage. And then what they'll do is they'll compile all the information and give you typically this very large report summarizing what they've found. Now, if you're not a lawyer and you don't know how to actually interpret and analyze those results, it may not do you a whole lot of good to pay for that kind of a search. But if you can figure out how to analyze what you're looking at, then using one of those services for a pretty extensive search is a good idea. But really, the best option is to use an attorney to help you with this clearance search, because the attorney is going to not only know what to search for, but they're also going to understand what they're looking at, and they're going to know how to analyze that in the context of your trademark and determine what it actually means for the fate of your trademark application. So if we've determined we want to file the application and the trademark is available, the next step is to start using the trademark. Now, okay, this isn't totally required for filing the application, but if you want to get a registered trademark, you do actually have to be using the trademark in commerce before the USPTO will register it. So if you're not already, it's a good idea to start using the trademark, because at some point in the process, if you're not using it when you file your application, at some point in the application process, the USPTO is going to want to see proof, visual proof, that you are using your trademark in connection with the goods and services that you've identified on your application. So whether you're starting your business and already selling your products, selling your services under your trademark, or if you're planning to launch maybe after you filed the application, either way, at some point in the process, you're going to want to start actually using the trademark. And then finally, we file the application. So first, we're going to want to find the right application. A question that I get asked pretty often, which is a little alarming, is what is the best website to use to file a trademark application? There is one and only one website to use, and that is the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office's website, uspto.gov. That is the only website where you will file a trademark application. Any other website that purports to file the application is some kind of scam, or they're just trying to get extra money out of you, but you can file the application directly without any additional fees aside from just the USPTO's fees on uspto.gov. So once you're there, you'll navigate to the screen with the trademark applications. There are 3 different types of applications. The one that's most commonly used is the TEAS RF Plus application, which gives you the lowest filing fee. So once you've started it, the application is going to ask for some information about the applicant, who will be the owner of the trademark. And then it's going to ask for information about the trademark itself. So if it's a name, you're going to type in the trademark name. If it's a logo, then you'll upload a design, an image of your logo. And it's also going to ask for information about the goods and services with which you'll be using the trademark. And with the reduced fee plus, with that RF Plus application, you have to pick from the USPTO's database of their categories and descriptions of goods and services. So you'll want to look through their database to find the category or categories that best fit and are most appropriate for the goods and or services that you're going to be providing under your trademark. And then you submit the fee and submit the application, and then what happens? Then you wait. It usually takes about 3 months before a human being even sets their eyes on your application. So there's going to be a good amount of silence and downtime after you submit that application. And the whole process usually takes about 6 to 8 months. It can take a lot longer than that, but generally speaking, it's about 6 to 8 months. A good thing to remember after you submit your application, this stuff is all public record. So all the information, the fact that you are looking to register a trademark, that's all public info. So you're going to start receiving emails and probably physical mail from companies trying to tell you that you need to do something else in order to proceed with your application, or, keep your application active. This is all spam, garbage that you can throw away. With the TEAS RF Plus application, you're agreeing to only accept communication from the USPTO by email. So if you're using that application and you receive something physically mailed to you, that's a sign immediately it's not actually from the USPTO, unless it's your trademark certificate. That's the only thing they actually physically mail to you. But anything else is going to be from a scammer. And then anything that you do receive in email, just make sure it's actually coming from the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. Anything else that's asking you to pay more money or do something else that you have to pay for, ignore it. That's all for this episode, folks. Please drop a comment below and let me know what you think. And again, don't forget, if you want to learn step by step how to file a trademark application without a lawyer, check the description below to get on the wait list for Brandish, DIY your trademark application. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Aiden Durham, and I'll see you next time.